copying some other YouTubers with my little fireplace thing, but it just looks so good. It's more than really that it looks good. It's just that it feels so good to have around. It's like a brilliant idea, so it wasn't mine. I've got a story, I guess, to tell you that I haven't really ever talked about. I think a lot of people close to me don't remember me talking about it. I might have mentioned it in a dark way, like, oh, this one thing happened, like, hi, and then like move on and not explain it, which I'm pretty good at doing that. And I think that's like how I cope with some things. Everyone copes with things in their own way, and one of my ways is definitely dark humor. So I never took the time to really let myself process it, and it's not the worst story you could hear. I don't want to say that I'm on here like woe is me style. Like, I am very fortunate and lucky, and I am grateful, and I haven't, you know, my heart goes out to everyone who is going through something right now, and I just haven't made this video, and I put it off, not on purpose, but I did, partially because I didn't know how to approach this video, and I think a lot of YouTubers say that, and whatever, I'm gonna say it too. I didn't understand why they would say that until I'm on this side of it. So yeah, I also have an issue with belittling my own thoughts and feelings, so that's another reason why it took me a while to realize this is sort of a big deal, and let myself sometimes call it an NDE, because, you know, I didn't experience the heavens. My heart didn't stop. Like, it's nothing like that, really. I mean, maybe I did experience the heavens. I don't know. So I want to go ahead and tell my little story, and oh, of course, I'm already, see, I caught it on camera. My little story it's okay. I'm gonna tell you what happened, and at this point, I don't have a lot of subscribers, so it's really not even like that much for risk. So let's get into it. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh boy, I wanna be like a little serious. Okay, so, you know, when you're in college, you're walking around a lot, and I remember I was walking back from class one day, and I was, you know, I'd walked this so many times, and I think it was my second semester of freshman year, and my whole life was pretty hectic at that point. Like, first of all, I was doing my biochemistry degree, and then I was also working a ton of hours, off and on. I don't think my boss at the time liked me very much. She I overheard that she was trying to get me fired. I overheard that she was trying to get me to quit by either giving me too many or not enough hours, but joke's on her, I didn't care. So I was either getting 30 plus hours as, you know, part-time, and so you don't get any benefits from that, and I was taking 20 hours at college, and then, you know, I might get 30 something hours one week, and then the next week get 5 hours. So, you know, okay. I was very tired and overwhelmed, and I hadn't acknowledged that I was yet. I was still kind of ignoring that, because I had just gotten out of this very stressful relationship, and I kind of just was feeling maybe relieved from that for the first time in 5 or 6 years, and so I didn't realize how stressed I was. Later on, I did end up quitting that job, but not because of how many hours I had. It was other things. So I was, you know, going through my own dramas. I was walking through campus, and, you know, they say that you get in car wrecks most often closest to your own house. Well, I was almost to my dorm. And I remember I was looking at my phone, I was texting, I was in this little mob of other people walking, so it's not like I was blindly walking around. Like I had other people sort of around me, and they're all going different paces, and people like stop and slow down. So I mean, it's not perfect, okay, but that's kind of my peripheral vision, maybe, I don't know. But I remember going up to the crosswalk. Here's the pivotal point of the story. I remember going up to the crosswalk. I knew that I was the first one in my group because I just figured like everybody else was stopping to talk. I think just the people around me were like pausing to talk to people. Like I didn't think anything of that, like which maybe is arguable, but like I was at the front of the crosswalk, and I mean I felt like the crowd was still moving forward, you know. I was looking at my phone, which is an issue, and I hope nobody else does this. I definitely never have since this, and I really didn't before. It was kind of just a fluke thing, and that's part of the problem. It's not okay if it just once. So I remember I took one step past the little, like, I took one step into the road, and it was like instant, like just a split second, like I heard this little voice in the back of my head say, step back. And I didn't think to step back, you know, like sometimes you're like, I'm gonna reach for that, and then you reach for it. It wasn't like that. It was like instant, step back. And I was that inch, like my toes were like an inch on like the sidewalk, okay? They weren't like overhanging the road, like I was just barely out of the way. And I took a step back, and I looked up, and the like first window of passengers on one of the transit buses was eye to eye with me. And I don't know if the people around me noticed. I mean, I'm sure they did. I was not. Oh my god. So I had stepped back just in time to not get hit by that bus, because that bus did not slow down. And one of my first thoughts after this was like, well, I should call and I should tell them the bus didn't slow down. But then I belittled that feeling, and I thought, well, they'll just tell you you're stupid. You're looking at your fucking phone. Like, you're supposed to pay attention at the crosswalk. Everybody knows that. I'm 18 years old. There's no excuse. Maybe 19 at this point, and I'm 19 years old. I should have known better. And you know, maybe that part of my that consequence part of my brain was not working right. I don't even remember what I was looking at on my phone. I have no idea. I probably could have told you if it had just happened, but like it's not really the takeaway here. So after that happened, I remember thinking, wow, like this is what it feels like to almost have something awful happen to you. Because if that bus had hit me, it was bigger than a school bus. It was like almost like one of those buses you take on a long trip, like a big RV kind of thing. Like it was like it probably would have killed me. I mean, one step out, if I had not taken that step back, it was hitting me. Because by the time I had looked up, like a split second, like maybe one whole second by the time I looked up, but it, like right in front of me. If the windows were short enough, I could have looked some kid in the face sitting on that bus. And I thought, well, okay, this just happened. What am I supposed to do now? You know, because the bus passed, and then I'm just looking at this empty crosswalk at my dorm. And I guess I'm like, well, I guess I just go. I mean, so I just walked back, and I was kind of in this weird mindset for like a day or so, and I had pretty much belittled it to nothing pretty quick. I definitely was in the mindset of I should be grateful, and I should be really valuing life and everything, and I was, but I really had just decided that I can't react to this, and that's not fair to myself. But I've thought a lot about since then what it was that made me take that step back, because there was no reason to. In my mind, like, I didn't know there was a bus coming. I hadn't looked at the road at all. Why would I have taken a step back? You could say science-wise, you know, maybe it was just my subconscious. Like, I know that's probably not the right word for that, but I'm not going to dwell on that right now. I know maybe it was some part of my mind that had registered that and taken it in, and it was a survival thing, you know, like an adrenaline, but I didn't feel like an adrenaline rush at all, because I took a step back, and I felt ridiculous for taking a step back after I did it. I remember like why did I, you know, take a step back, what? And then looking up was casual. Like, I casually looked up and saw the bus had already, like, gotten a few feet of length in front of me. And I've leaned more, you know, maybe it is a little bit of that, but I've leaned more to the side of thinking, well, maybe it was, you know, in this universe, this is the universe where I happen to take a step back, and this is where I'm at. Or, you know, you could say that maybe in another universe I did not step back and I passed away, and now I'm just here in this one. So that's a theory. Another theory that I've always sort of liked was like a guardian angel, and I grew up more Christian, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not that angels are exclusively Christian, but I've just always been told that as a kid, like, you could have a guardian angel. So that's something I kind of identify with, but not, you know, not entirely. Like, I think it's not necessarily something we need to label. I just think that maybe some higher being, maybe it could be my higher self, or like a spirit that knows me or cares about me, or could be just, I don't know, it could be someone alive, which I just now am thinking of. Could be like maybe someone can speak in people's minds and someone else made me do it. I don't know, but I just feel like that was not my action that I took, and to take a step back. And it was so fast, you know, like, it was like step back, casually look up, and the bus was there. Yeah, I've thought so much about, like, what that voice was, and how it got me to react that way. And I felt silly for stepping back, because normally when you cross the street with a group of people, they're all moving forward, and you would look weird taking one step backwards as soon as you step into the street. And I remember thinking that. I was like, take a step back, what? Like, I know I've already said this, I'm not a professional storyteller, but I want to share my experience for multiple reasons. And, you know, it could have been over. So, I don't know, if you have any ideas about what that could have been, that voice, I mean, like that feeling to take a step back, even though it didn't really make sense, and yeah, let me know if you have any ideas. I feel like maybe I'm just supposed to still be here for some reason. I mean, one for my son, but I hope you can take something from this, and I'm sort of at a loss for words at this point. I have some other stories I might like to share, so if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, and thank you for being here, watching my videos. I know a lot of people that watch my videos are sort of close to me right now, and I appreciate it. Thank you for indulging me. And I will see you later. Yeah.